Hello YouTube, this is Lexus, also known as my username Piece of Artwork 13, and I'm up late. It's 5 in the morning right now. I cannot sleep, and I'm just bored. So I decided to come on camera and make two videos. One video is about a very tragic situation that happened to a 2-year-old girl in foster care, and I will make that video later because that's going to be a lot longer. But this video right here is going to be about Temptations, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor by Tyler Perry. And I'm not going to spend too much time explaining the movie. Long story short, childhood, sweethearts, get married, have a okay life, wife working in business, guy comes in, very fancy, got a lot of money, hits on her, she starts to, going back and forth. Then, they have an affair. Then she starts to realize she's not happy with her husband. Then she starts having more affairs with this guy. Then she leaves her husband. Then she's with this guy. Then all hell broke loose and shit hit the fan and it just went terrible. So, I'm just going to be giving my review as if you've already seen the movie, or as if you already know the plot of the movie. And this is going to be a spoiler alert. Lots of spoilers. Do not watch this if you have not seen this movie, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But basically, I know the movie's been getting a lot of bad reviews online. And, I think Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 1 out of 10. And then I'm not sure what it's called, but they gave it like a 30%. And it's getting very, very terrible reviews, and I think I understand why. But I like the movie. Personally, I love the movie. Unfortunately, I saw it by myself. My boyfriend didn't want to watch it with me. He's like, it's too serious. I don't like movies like that. He likes more drama type movies, Yeah, if I was watching Two Guns with Denzel Washington and Channing Tatum, he would have been all for it, but no. Anyways, this movie, at the end of the day, I love the movie. I watched it twice. It left a very big impact on me, and I think everybody can relate to Journey's character, which is Judith. Feeling like you're unhappy in your relationship and that there's better out there, and then when you think better is coming along, then you're like, oh, okay, well, I'ma just maybe just see where this goes. And then you do it, and then you're like, I should have never did that. But I'm gonna just address the problems that I have with the movie. The number one problem that people are saying is about the ending. They don't like the ending, and what happens in the ending. And this is a spoiler. This is where the spoilers are starting. So just stop watching this review if you have not seen the movie. The ending. It turns out that Judith was the marriage counselor in the beginning. She wasn't talking about her sister. She was talking about herself. And when she goes to the pharmacy to see Bryce, they're old as fuck, okay? Point blank period. They're just really, really old. And then Brandy's character looks the same. She's still got the same hair, same clothes, all that stuff, but Bryce got gray hair and, and stuff like that, and then Judith got these old person clothes on and stuff. But Brandon looking young and just everything. That was my problem with the ending. I'm like, they could at least cut her hair or something just to make her look older and put her in some different clothes. But no, they were like, no, we're not gonna change her. And then my other problem, I can understand why that's a problem with the ending, but that's not a huge problem. I think Brandy wasn't too old in the movie to begin with. She was like in her early 20s. So, I don't know how much time has passed since that ending specifically. But I think she would have been like in her 30s if it was about 10, 20 years. She would have been about late 30s, middle 30s, I don't know. Well, she still should have looked older in my opinion, but still. That's not a huge issue. I've seen worse in movies where my eyelashes. They're just falling out. I have to pluck them. This is something I do often. I'm very sorry. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. It's just whenever I feel something in my eye, I have very sensitive eyes. I always assume it's an eyelash. And so what I do is I just kind of take my eyelashes right here, grab them, and then just kind of pull. And usually, if it's an eyelash, it'll come out. Anywho, that wasn't a big problem for me, you know. I actually like the ending. What I don't like about the ending is that there's no closure. You know, we don't understand what happened, why things happened the way they did. Because the last scene before that ending came up, it was where Bryce was kicking Harley's ass. And then after that, you know, it was going back to where she's telling the story. And then the woman's like, how does the story end? And she's like, well, it's still being written. But, you know, I just wasn't satisfied with the ending because we know pretty much what happened to everybody. We know that Judith got AIDS, or HIV, AIDS, HIV. We also know that her and Bryce are no longer together. We know that Bryce moved on. He has a wife and a child. And we know that Brandy still same old Brandy. You know, ain't nothing changed on her part. What bothered me about the ending is that what happened to Harley? Like, we don't get to know what happened to him because, you know, I feel like he was a big character in the movie. The last thing we saw Harley, he laying on a bed of glass, you know, bleeding from the lips. That's the last thing I saw from him. We don't know if he died. We don't know if he's still alive. We don't know if he moved. I would like to know something about Harley. You know, it just ends so abruptly. And I don't know if there's going to be a part 2, which I don't think there should be because we pretty much got most of the answers, even though not all of them. You know, having a part 2 to this would be like having a part 2 to Cars, which there was a part 2 to Cars. I'm talking about the Disney movie, yes. Cars did not need a part 2. That was the dumbest thing I had ever heard. And when that part 2 came out, I was like, what the fuck? Like, no one cares about these. Like, no one wants to watch part 2 to Cars. It's so crazy. Because that irritates me. And I'm going on a rant right here now. But it's like, the part 2 to the movies that there should be, there isn't one. You know, I've been waiting on part 2 of The Incredibles for a long time. That guy comes up out of the ground, and they putting on their mask and getting ready, and that's it. We don't know what happened after that. I would have liked a part 2 to that movie more than ever than this stupid Cars part 2 movie, which turned out to be terrible. And another thing is that even with that movie, like, we learned that Jack had powers, so it's like, well, is he gonna take part in the ass kicking on this villain? Because I would like to know. I would like to see what happens to him. But no part 2 to that movie. We only gonna give a part 2 to the stupid movies that don't get part 2s. What about Avatar? Avatar needs a part 2, and they better be working on it. I swear they better be working on it right now because I need closure on that movie. I want to know what happened. I know that, you know, there was some good parts at the end, but like, when I don't really remember Avatar too well because it's not that old, but it's kind of, you know, I've seen a lot of movies since then. And to me, it's like, you know, we need closure. Like, I know that I don't even remember the ending too much. The last thing I remember on the ending of Avatar was they were at that tree. And they were all surrounded, all the little blue people, well, not little, they big blue people, are at the tree and stuff like that. I'm not sure what they were doing. I think they were turning the guy into one of them. But even then, like, I would still like closure. I would still like a part 2 to know how that worked out. How successful was that? Because I think they were trying to save him. I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, I just don't like that I don't know what happened to Harley, because I felt like Harley was an important character. Another thing is that I had a problem with the movie is that, okay, you got this couple. They've been together 19 years, married for 6 years. How the hell do you forget their birthday? Like, if I'm married to you 6 years, and I've known you since I was not, since, for 19 years, almost since I was like 6 years old or 5, I'm not gonna forget your birthday. Your birthday is gonna be marked on every new calendar that I get in the house. Not gonna miss your birthday. Like, I'm not gonna forget. That's just natural. Like, I don't see how you can forget someone's birthday that you've known for 19 years, every single year. And he forgot, not 1 year, not one, 2 years in a row, he forgot her birthday. And I'm like, what? Like, how do you forget someone's birthday you know for 19 years? That was crazy to me. But nevertheless, and then another problem that I had with the movie, well, the problem that I had wasn't really necessarily with the movie itself, but was with the reviews. Some people be like, there was a scene, where Bryce was watching the football game, and she gets a call on her phone, and he just looks at it, and it goes back to watching the game, and she walks up and goes to answer the phone outside. People were saying, like, how do you just let your wife get a phone call and you don't ask who it is and stuff like that? My thing is, you have to understand the characters, and what it is for me is that, for 19 years, you trust somebody. Like, if me and you've been together for 19 years and you get a call on your phone, whether you're male or female, because I'm bisexual, don't care. But if me and you've been together for 19 years and you get a call on your phone, I'm just thinking, must be one of her friends or something. I'm not going to ask who it is. Like, I trust you. I have no reason to doubt, you're talking to someone strange or something like that, We've been together 19 years. 19. Not 9. 19 years. That's a long time. But I think it was just a level of trust that he had for her. So I don't think that was a problem. I actually liked that he wasn't questioning her about who she was talking to. My problem with that scene, which no one seemed to address, how the hell you just gonna leave and you don't know where your wife is? Like, she just left the house and didn't give she gave an excuse that they called her for work and whatever. And then the mom was like, does she do that a lot? And then he like, woo! Looking at the game, he didn't even notice. And even when she came back, he didn't notice that she was gone. He wasn't like, where the hell have you been? I've been calling your phone and all this other stuff. Like, she just left. And he didn't say nothing. He didn't know. He didn't even notice she left. And it's crazy. That was crazy to me. And another thing that bothers me is Judith's character. Like, she knew, even when at the beginning of this movie, when this guy took one of those surveys and he wanted to know if she can read him based on the survey, she read that he had problems with his temper. So how then do you get involved with someone like that? What is this on my forehead? Oh, it's a dot. Must be some kind of mole, or, well, not mole, but like a small, maybe I got bit by something, I'm not sure. But anyways, like, she knew that he had a temper, so was it that strange to think that, okay, he might be trouble? And why is it that this is the only guy that ever hit on her? Like, Judith was sexy, even when she was dressed down and wasn't all that good looking, she was gorgeous. And I feel like other male characters, like other men where she was working, would have hit on her throughout all those years of being together. So why is it that this is the only time in her life that some guy comes along and whatever and just hits on her and she just goes for that, just hops on it? Like, this can't be the only guy who's talked that way to her, but the story is portraying it that way, and I just think that's strange. Another thing is, Kim Kardashian's character, it was pointless. Like, why was Kim Kardashian in the movie? Don't we see enough on her on TV as it is? Like, do we really need to start putting her in movies? I'm tired of Kim Kardashian. I'm tired of all of them. They just need to go. But no, we love Kim. We have to put Kim everywhere there's a chance for Kim to be. With that being said, Kim's character, she did a good job. I mean, I feel like that's how Kim would act in real life, so I can't really complain about her character, but it was a pointless character. Like, there was no need for her character. Anyways, I think this story is like Judah being the fallen angel, you know? Falling from the grace of God and stuff like that. But damn, did she fall hard. Like, she got into drugs, she got beat up, she got AIDS. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you fall that hard? Like, can you really fall that hard? And then I noticed that Tyler Perry puts AIDS in a bunch of his videos. And it's not, like, I mean, AIDS is bad, but damn, like, do we have to put it everywhere? Like, why does she have to get a disease? Like, why couldn't she just got beat up and then called it a day? You know? I think it's bad enough she got beat, but then to get AIDS, like, goddamn, that sucks. Her life sucks. Like, damn. And then how is it so convenient that Brandy's character was the same person that she was with? Well, how is it convenient that Brandy's character, you know, I don't even remember her name, but Karen, her real name was Karen. Karen was with Harley, and then Judith happened to be with Harley. And then Judith's married to Bryce, who is also friends with Karen. Like, that just seems way too convenient. I think I understand where Tyler Perry was going with the movie, but I think his execution was not that great. You know, there's a lot of problems with the movie. But I do like the movie. For what it's worth, I do like it. I feel like people should see it. But, again, there are problems in the movie. Another problem that I had with the movie is, like, the whole thing with, like, where she was. Because she did drugs with Harley. And she ended up being in this club all high. She like, you know, just listening to some music. Bryce shows up to go get her. How did he know she was there? Like, how did he even know she was there? And that was just strange to me. You know, I like Bryce's character. I think he did a good job. I mean, Lance Gross. I'd rather say Gross. Lance Gross's character was great. Judith's character, her character's okay, you know. I understand where it was going, but, like, even she, like, I feel like she's so smart to be so dumb. Like, she knew he had a temper tantrum. She knew that he was, you know, messing with other women. Like, even in the club, he had his arm around another woman. Even in the club, he had his arm around another woman. So, I don't see how she could have thought, like, that guy was any good for her. I know she had fun with him. And I noticed that Tyler Perry does this thing in his movies where he makes it like, he talked about on an interview for Temptations in a Google Hangout, which I did watch, about the 80-20 thing. You know, in a relationship, you're only going to get 80% of what you want. And someone else comes along, and you think they're 100%, but they're actually just 20%. And so now you leave the 80 for that other person who was 20, and then you realize I had more, and I was more happy with the 80 that I had, and now I'm just with this person who's 20. My problem with that whole thing, and I just put my iPad in the light, which is why a big block came over my face. My problem with this is that it seems like Harley was the 80. Like, goddamn, was this woman getting spoiled rotten. She was getting put on private jets or a plane. Well, I don't know if it was a jet or a plane. It was private. We know that. She getting taken out to fancy places. She going shopping and all this other stuff. She having wild, crazy sex is amazing. He seemed like the 80. Like, I don't get Tyler Perry's logic in putting, you know, Harley. Like, I understand his character is bad. Like, he's a bad character. He's not a good person. But he's definitely no 20. Like, this guy was I'm sorry if I keep moving my iPad. I'm just trying to get comfortable. This guy was filthy rich. And he whined and dined this girl. He seemed like 80. You know, but yeah, he does have flaws. And I can understand her being bored and stuff in the relationship, but I think you would have had 19 years to be bored, boo. Like, why are you just now getting bored in your marriage and stuff like that? I don't know. Overall, if I had to give the movie a rating, I would rate it, probably like a 7.5 out of 10. I say it was really good. It was good enough for me to want to watch it twice, because every time I saw the previews, I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, that's a good movie. Let me see if I can watch this again. But anyways, that's my review of the movie. I would say just see it anyways, even if that's not your type of genre. I feel like there's something for everybody in this movie. You got some of your action, you got your romance, you got your emotional stuff, and you got comedy in parts of it. I feel like there's something for everybody, and I would definitely recommend people see it, even if it's not like immediately your type of movie. It'll definitely provoke thought, which is what Tyler Perry said that he wanted. He wanted people to think about it and stuff like that. It definitely does do that, you know, but I just think, like, you know, it was just like poorly executed. I would have done some things differently, but overall I would say it's a good movie and I enjoyed it. So that's my review on Temptation. I'm sorry if it's not too much that I said in the movie about the movie and everything like that, but like that's pretty much what I had to say. I'm trying to think of it, if there anything else that I want to add. Mm, mm, I think that's about it. I think that's about it. I think that's pretty much all I have to add to the movie. I will say that, though, Judith's character does have a very angry streak. Like, when she flips or gets upset, she goes off. And so, I feel like she kind of met her match with Harley, because he beat the shit out of her. And I'm not saying she deserved that, but damn, like, she was just a bitch at times. And so, you know, I just want to add that point, because you know, she was kind of violent too, and he's very violent. So that's about how I feel about that. Anywho, that is my review, and I'm gonna get started on this other video. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.